Okay, so we're going to do 3 cups on here, and I'm going to do 3 flip cups on here and then tilt it out. As you can see, I've got a bunch of different greens and turquoise and then blue and yellow and some brown, and this guy is an iridescent green to orange. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. As you can see here, I've got an old canvas, kind of similar colors. I was looking at it and I wanted to redo it because I wasn't really happy with some of the colors in there and just how it turned out, so I want to try it again. Though I'm not going to do a ring pour and a rect ring pour this time. I'm going to layer all 3 of these cups differently so that we get some different effects. And what I will likely do, actually no, let's do it that way, is I'll do the flips up here, drag them down, and do the flip here and drag it down that way. That way we get a little bit of difference. I may even put some color in between. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not going to have to fill these. I'm going to have to remember that too, not to fill them completely. Okay, so for the first one, I'm going to do a dirty pour in the middle, just with all the colors. And I think I really want this one to be quite a bit of blue. Sunshine, blue skies, I gotta cry. Man, it's supposed to cross crying. Since the pain, oh yeah. Listen, I loved you. Night sounds strange. I wish you would rain. The man ain't supposed to cry. I wish you would rain. I wanna go outside. I wish you would rain. Sunshine, blue skies, I gotta cry. The man ain't supposed to cry. Listen, listen, I loved you. Night sounds strange. I wish you would rain. The man ain't supposed to cry. I gotta cry. I wanna go outside. I wish you would rain. As always, guys, my paint is only ever mixed with just distilled water. That's it. No, nothing else. I am in process of making a video about some of the extra additives and things that people put in their paints, the silicones, the Floetrol, etc., etc. And I will just give you basically my thoughts on why everything other than distilled water sucks. Just my personal opinion. All right, let's get this tilted out. Again, the reason why I put that brown around the edge and I'm not worried about these colors here is just so that that tilts off the canvas first rather than having all my color tilt off the canvas. So notice whatever I'm doing, whatever direction I'm going to the corner as I'm spreading it out, I always come back to the middle. I've had some comments before in some of my videos where people say you can't make cells without putting a metallic in, or you can't make cells without different brands of paint, or you can't make cells without, you know, silicone or adding some sort of additive to it. Nope. If you want to make cells, figure out the density of your paint. And then it all goes into the layering and how you put it together. When the denser paint sits on top of a lighter paint, the paint will fall through that next layer. It will go down, and when it's an aggressive paint, when the flame hits it, it interacts with that other color and it basically tries to come back up to the surface, which is why you get the rings of color around your cells. Like these ones, right? You've got some green in there, some turquoise in there, you've got a bunch of different colors because those are the different colors of paint that are a little more aggressive that are coming back up from underneath layers, and that's what's creating your cells. It has absolutely nothing to do with silicone, with anything like that. It's just the densities of the paint and how your paint reacts with one another, whether it's heavier or lighter, and then you throw some heat on it, that gets the process going. Beautiful cells. Yeah, if I'm going to go for a painting where I do want quite a lot of cells, this is typically kind of the style that I will do, not the dirty pour one. More of the layered cup, and then do it flip, do it whatever. But that layering of the paint in the cup and then flipping it over, that's allowing all those paints to come down and mix into each other and starting that process. There is a really, really cool video out that I will link in the description below that kind of explains a little bit more of the scientific process a hell of a lot better than I can. I am no scientist. I've just done a lot of research and I'm just trying to figure out how to be able to explain it to you guys. But here is my example, right? This is just paint and water, one dirty pour, 2 layered cups, all done in a flip cup style. So for anyone who says you can't make cells without these certain things, they're full of it and they just haven't done their research. Yes, of course, you can add silicone to a painting and that's going to react with the paints. It's a chemical reaction that's happening, which is what's giving you those cells. But with a silicone or a dimethicone, which you can find dimethicone as the main ingredient in things like treadmill lubrication, you can find it in KY jelly. That's what I was referring to the other day, if you caught that when I said dildo lube. I've seen people use all kinds of things, and it's basically just getting that chemical reaction going. But if you know how to do it properly and you know all your densities and your specific gravities of these paints, you don't need any of that stuff. So why in God's name would I go spend all of this extra money on that useless stuff when all it took was a little bit of research? You know, spend a few hours, go learn some things. It's not going to kill you. And then you can spend all of that extra money that you would have spent on pouring mediums, on glues, on dimethicone, on whatever you use or put in. You don't have to use that anymore. You can spend the money on a really, really good quality paint, a nicer canvas, things like that, on resin to finish your projects afterwards. Spend your money smartly. why the hell would you spend it on all these other different additives when all it takes is just a little bit of research and you can do any damn technique you want with paint and water? I just don't understand. Anyways, I love watching a lot of the other pourers on YouTube, but it just frustrates me to no end when they cheat and take the shortcut. I don't know, that's just me as a person, right? Why would I take the shortcut and spend all that extra money needlessly on crap when I can go spend it on really good paint? That's why I only use Golden in Amsterdam. And I finish all my projects with resin for the most part because I can afford to, because I'm not buying any of this other crap that goes in it. I'm just buying the bare essentials, right? Spend your money smartly, especially now, today, this horrible economy and inflation and all these things. You want to be able to continue to do your art and put out the best possible pieces with the highest quality of products. Don't waste your money on all that other crap. Anyways, that's just my opinion. I really like this. This is kind of cool. There's part of me, I kind of want to do something in here. I thought this one would be a lot bluer. Turns out that one was. That's fine. And that brown in the middle has a lot of copper in it, which is awesome. So when it dries, it'll be nice and shimmery. Now, the key when you've made natural cells like these, well, or any cells to be honest, the reason why I kept going back to the middle every time when I was moving around was so that I could keep the shape of my cells. Because if you go one side and then you go the other side, think about that. You're pulling this cell in that direction, then you're pulling it in this direction, then you're going in that direction, then you're going in that direction. And it's just going to make this big wobbly wonky cell, and that's when often they break or they just get out of form and out of shape, right? Like you can see some of those here are starting to get a little big because I didn't come back necessarily to the center all the way on some things, you know, but most of them were able to retain their nice little circular shape. I don't like huge cells. I'm much more of a fan of little ones like these guys in here are just awesome. Yep, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I don't think I'm going to fuss anymore. And just in case, for those of you who were wondering, I got asked from my last or a few videos ago where I got my skewer sticks from that I use to scrape these. I just get them from the dollar store. They're just mini skewers in the kitchen stuff. I think you get 50 or 100 for a buck. And I can use them a bunch of times. Yeah, like a pack of 50 lasts me forever because I just wipe them off and then I reuse them on my next painting to scrape the paint again, and pretty well keep using them until until there's too much paint built up on it and it's not scraping properly. But as long as I keep wiping it off, I can reuse it lots. Cool. I will take you down for a close-up. Sandra, I like the tiny cells better.